Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Karen. I make bookish and college related videos, and today I will be showing you a recent library haul because I do have a stack of books that I want to share, and the last few books will have an emphasis of me being a history major, and so I am very excited to show you all that I got. So let's just get started. The first book that I have is The Comeback by E.L. Shen, and I've talked about this book 2 other times on my channel, and I actually have a reading blog that you should all go and check out. This book follows the story of 12-year-old Maxine. She's a figure skater on her way to championships, competition, whatever the figure skater competition word is. And so she is sort of distracted and affected by this bully, Alex, a fellow classmate, that's mean to her all because of her Chinese heritage. And so we get to see a lot of this new friendship unfold between Maxine and another figure skater, and we get to just see all of this amazing Chinese American Asian representation, and I absolutely love this book, and I talked a lot more about that in my reading vlog. The next book that I have is Half a World Away by Cynthia Kadohata, and I also talked a little bit about this in that reading vlog, and I wanted to pick up another middle grade book so that I would have something very quick and easy to read. I loved Cynthia Kadohata when I was 12 years old, and so I wanted to see what she was up to since 2012, and she published this in 2014, so she definitely has some new books under her name, and I just really wanted to see how she has changed in her writing style, how she has stayed the same, what she's been up to, and so I thought this would be a great book to do that with. The synopsis of Half a World Away reads, a kid who considers himself an epic fail discovers the transformative power of love when he deals with an adoption. So that's just a very quick snippet. So for this third book, I'm actually buddy reading this with a hometown friend of mine, but that is Women, Race, and Class by Angela Davis, and my campus library only has this old version that doesn't have a dust jacket to it. It still has the original library card sleeve thing, and so I don't know. This book talks about feminism and how it affects or fails Black women and marginalized women, and so again, I'm buddy reading this with a hometown friend, and I've just been eyeing this book for a while because if you know me, you know that I absolutely love any sort of feminist discourse or womanist discourse. I specifically love reading about how feminism fails women of color. For this next book, I'm actually also buddy reading this, but with my friend Maddie, who's here on campus with me, and that is Do Nothing, How to Break Away from Overworking, Overdoing, and Underliving by Celeste Headlee. Very, very quick synopsis reads, in Do Nothing, award-winning journalist Celeste Headlee illuminates a new path ahead, seeking to institute a global shift in our thinking so we can stop sabotaging our well-being, put work aside, and start living instead of doing. And Maddie and I talked about buddy reading another book again. I just randomly scrolled through Goodreads to kind of see what's been new, what's been popular on Goodreads. And then I wanted to see what books on Goodreads were available at my public library so I can borrow another book. Maddie and I are both workaholics. I'm gonna be honest, we are constantly doing schoolwork. We are constantly putting SGA and people in front of ourselves, and every now and then it's a good thing. We get a lot of work done. Other times we burn ourselves out really quickly. Pretty okay with self-care and setting boundaries, but I know that is a work in progress and I can always improve upon that. And so I hope this book is able to provide something new for both Maddie and me, and especially because both of us we're all about self-improvement and also productivity. My hope for this book is that it touches on capitalism and how a lot of our need or want for productivity stems from capitalism. So I don't know if there's going to be a mixture of history or not in there. I haven't really read this full synopsis or anything, and I've only read the first couple of chapters, and so I am excited to see what this book touches on, what new thing it could bring to me, and if I learn anything new and profound, I will be sure to share that with the world. So whenever I make a sit-down booktube video, I like to type out my script, and this is unscripted. But I have 2 other books that I want to share, and again, if you have been keeping up with my channel, you would know that I have read these books, you would know that I have mentioned these. There are 4 audiobooks that I also want to share. The first one is Ali Wong's audiobook, Dear Girls. Oh my goodness. I absolutely love Ali Wong. She is one of my favorite stand-up comedians. I love her even more after reading this book. So the whole concept of this book is that she's written like letters. It's called Dear Girls because she's written this for her own daughters. And she talks all about like her start in comedy, Asian representation, her family, all sorts of things. And I absolutely love it all. And it was a mixture of just funny and seriousness. I particularly loved any moment in which she talked about Asian representation. And there are a lot of things that like, I had thoughts of them in the back of my head, but I didn't know that's what I was feeling until I heard it out loud through Ali Wong. And I appreciated this audiobook so much. And one thing I learned about myself is that I prefer memoirs on audiobook and not really fiction books or anything like that unless I am reading alongside it. But I really love this. Definitely check it out. It is hilarious. Next audiobook is The Year of Less, How I Stopped Shopping, Gave Away My Belongings, and Discovered Life is Worth Way More Than Anything You Can Buy in a Store by Kate Flanders. So again, I mentioned this in my last reading vlog, and I did not really like this book, if I'm being quite honest. I wish there was more of a balance between the memoir side of things and how to go about an entire year of living with less. We didn't get that later part until the epilogue, until the very end of the book, and so I think if there was more of a balance, that would be great. The next audiobook is I Might Regret This, Essays, Drawings, Vulnerabilities, and Other Stuff by Abby Jacobson. Abby Jacobson, one of my favorite people. There wasn't a lot of cohesion within the essays that she shared, and the whole premise of this was that she was road tripping from like New York to California, and she documented a lot of her thought process, experiences along the way, as well as experiences in the development of Broad City. So I really love getting to hear about the Broad City experiences, especially about how she met Alana at her improv group, how she randomly like thought of asking Amy Poehler to be part of Broad City and how that all turned out, and just the development of Broad City. That was absolutely my favorite. And I also love reading all about like her other personal experiences too. And I don't know, it was just getting to like listen to the author themselves read their own memoirs is a little bit more special, especially if it's people that you look up to, especially like Ali Wong or Abby Jacobson. But this next audiobook is called Speak Okinawa by Elizabeth Mickey Brina. I don't think the author herself is reading this. It's read by someone else, but it is still really good. And I did pick up this book in the past before, but I stopped reading it because I related to it too much. I'm all about representation, especially Asian representation in the media. However, this was just one of those things where I was like, I feel like I'm reading about my own life right now and I don't like it. So I came across this book again this morning, and so I was like, you know what, let me just pick this up again, because I don't think there's ever really a good time to ever read something that's exactly like you and exactly like your life, and this is the first time that's really happened. So I am very excited to continue listening to this audiobook, and it may conjure up some big emotions, but you know what? I'm ready. So I have 2 books that deal with me being a history major, and that is Gilded Age. It's just called The Gilded Age. And then the next one is called America and the Gilded Age. And so the Gilded Age took place in America in and around the late 19th century, and this was a time of like rapid economic growth, and there was an influx of European immigrants here in America to work. The railroad industry was booming at this time, and this was post-Reconstruction era. So while on the surface level all these like great things make America look really good, there was a lot of poverty. African Americans in the South were experiencing the effects of the Reconstruction era, and there was also just a lot of cultural and political turmoil at the time. So there is this book called Devil in the White City by Erik Larson. fabulous book, fabulous author. I have read a couple of his books before, but I read Devil in the White City for an American history class, and it touches on this intersection of just the Gilded Age in general, but also this piece of cultural turmoil in this murderer named H.H. Holmes. And that intersection is the 1893 Chicago World's Fair. I loved reading this book. I loved reading about how the serial killer murderer H.H. Holmes used the Chicago World's Fair to kind of lure women and people in to kill them. And I don't know, I just think that book does a really great job at showcasing the Gilded Age and painting the time, especially in Chicago in 1893. So I feel like this is kind of the same across universities. I'm not sure how it is in universities in the UK with history majors and stuff like that, but for the most part, seniors in the history major have to do a senior thesis, so that's a 20-page paper on a topic that they get to choose. And so I want to do mine on the 1893 Chicago World's Fair with an emphasis or pull on Black history. And so I don't know exactly what I want to do quite yet. Maybe I want to do representation. I know a lot of stereotypes have stemmed from the Chicago World's Fair. A lot of inventions stem from the World's Fair. Also, Frederick Douglass and Ida B. Wells were at the 1893 Chicago World's Fair. And so there's a lot that I can do with Black history at this World's Fair during this Gilded Age. And so my goal right now is to just do a lot of research and kind of just read up on the Gilded Age, maybe read up on African Americans in Chicago at the time. I don't really start writing my paper until the fall semester, and it's summer right now, so I have all summer to do as much research as I possibly want to kind of gather everything and create a thesis later in the fall. This is really cool. This is the administrative building at the Chicago World's Fair, and it was called the World Columbian Exposition, I believe, or the World's Columbian Exposition, because it was in celebration of frickin' Christopher Columbus. And so anyway, that's the most American thing I have ever. Anyway, that is all that I have to share of some of the books that I'm currently reading, books that I will be reading, books that I have read recently. And so I am feeling so good about my reading right now. And I think what's helping me out is that I picked up middle grade and I went through this, like, I really want to read something quick and easy. And so I'm a very big mood reader and I got to fulfill that. But I will be reading Women Raised in Class and Do Nothing the next few days. But I like to listen to audiobooks in the morning while I'm driving, while I'm getting ready. And so I tend to finish audiobooks a lot quicker, especially those that are only between like the 6 to 8 hour mark. And I do only like the shorter audiobooks. And so again, I'm just so excited about everything that I am reading and I'm feeling really good about it all. So please let me know what you are reading. If you have any audiobook recommendations, specifically memoirs, please let me know. If you enjoyed this video, please give this video a thumbs up and please subscribe. I have new videos coming your way very soon. Have a great day, everyone.